Hi, Steve Hart here. Please let me start this off by telling you this is just my opinion, and but I'm going to share my opinion. And the reason why I am making this video is because I have been having problems with something I saw posted on the internet recently, and I want to address it. And that is the statement, "Train your mind to be stronger than your feelings." Let me read it again. Train your mind to be stronger than your feelings. I used to believe that, but I don't believe that anymore. In fact, the odd thing about it is the information that's on this page, there are different steps, points they make out here, they actually are contrary to what the statement is saying. Let's start off by saying, I have learned that I am not my mind. That's been my experience. And maybe you have too. I mean, have you ever had a thought come into your mind and you're going, where did that come from? That's not me. So there are things that go on in my mind that are not me, and they come from the ether out there and wherever, because we are like antennas, and we're receptive to the various things that are out there. But when I really go within myself and look as to who I am, I'm not my mind. I'm more coming from the heart, because that is the center of my being, the seat of my soul, as they might say. Now, let me address some of these points here that they bring up. The first one they bring up is to recognize that you have a problem. What? Whoa! I have a problem? I have found that a lot of the problems I have are in my head, and they're not real. A lot of the problems I have, I've created in my head. I've allowed fear to control me, and I have not identified with love. So that's the first thing they say, recognize you have a problem. They talk about overthinking. I agree that overthinking is a problem if that's what you're doing. Because if you stay in your mind, then you're going to find you're going to have more problems. And you're never really going to be able to figure it out until you go down into your heart. The next statement they say is, don't hate yourself for it. And I agree with this. To hate yourself or to feel, criticize yourself, if you're staying in your mind, just recognize that you're not your mind. You need to recognize those feelings. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in depth, a little bit more. But first, the next step is number 3. They say, breathe deeply. And when you're thinking too much, take deep breaths and break down what you're thinking about. And there is a key. And the key is to breathe deeply. Go down into your heart. When you start breathing deeply and slowing your breath down, you actually find a place of peace. And in that peace, you will find your connection to your heart, which are your feelings. Now, I agree that feelings can be deceptive until you realize that the feelings you have are contrary from the mind feelings, or there was a feelings created by the mind, like the fight or flight type thing. That is in your mind. Those feelings can be false. Seeing something and being caught up in the illusion can create feelings or emotion. But if you learn to stay in your heart and not in your mind, those feelings that you're having are real. Okay, the next step is talk less. When you are racked with too many thoughts, we all want to talk it out. Well, that's true. And it's true. My first suggestion is for people to go into meditation. And that's the next point they make. Meditate is a great way of clearing your mind. So talk less. Don't be quick to talk. Go into your meditation. Get quiet. Find out where your peace is and whether or not this problem or whatever it is you're feeling is real or not. Now, I do believe it's important sometimes to talk out some of your thoughts, because what happens is when I talk and express my feelings, I can then observe whether or not I really agree with them. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes the observer part about me says, that's not really true. And I stop and I say, wait a second, let me rethink this. And so it's actually the key to this is a resonance, a harmony between the heart and the mind. So there's nothing wrong with feelings. Connect with your feelings, but find the harmony between your heart and your mind. And the last step they bring out here is to get outside of yourself, go out into nature, into the woods. I live here in Florida, so I go to the beach if I need to, but I do have a giant swing here next to the wooded area where I live, and I'm able to go out there and find peace. But every time I go to the ocean, I'm amazed at the energy I feel when I'm at the ocean. So, here again, it's the feelings I'm looking for, not the thoughts in my mind. So the statement that says train your mind to be stronger than your feelings is a bit deceptive, and I just wanted to bring that out into this video, and I hope that I've been able to share something with you to give you some insight. I hope that you're having a blessed day, and I've been an inspiration to you. And if I did, subscribe to my channel. I got more to come. Bye-bye.